From the National Weather Service, this is Jonathan Blaze with our Thursday routine weekly weather briefing for Central North Carolina. Thanks for joining us. We have a lot to discuss, so we're going to go ahead and get started and jump right into the briefing. First off, I wanted to highlight that the NOAA hurricane season outlook for the Atlantic Basin was released on Tuesday. In general, it continues a theme we've had for several of the most recent tropical seasons with a high likelihood or high probability of above normal activity in the Atlantic Basin and a very small chance, just 10% chance of it being a below normal season. So a high likelihood of near normal to above normal activity. And the forecast includes 14 to 21 named storms in the Atlantic Basin, which includes 6 to 10 hurricanes and 3 to 6 major hurricanes. All those values are above the long-term normal, but certainly consistent with kind of the theme we've seen for the past several years. The main cause for this is above average Atlantic sea surface temperatures and an ongoing La Nina. So we'll continue to monitor that as we head into what is likely to be a busy Atlantic hurricane season. In terms of the upcoming weather pattern for the next few days, we have a significant storm system out in the Missouri Valley and the western Great Lakes. That storm system, the center of it at least, will move east and northeast into the Ohio Valley and northeast over the next few days. An associated warm front will lift north across our area later today and tonight, resulting in a return to a warmer and a little bit steamier kind of air mass. And then a strong cold front, which may actually be preceded by a surface trough, will swing across the area later on Friday and clear the coast early Saturday morning. Following that, high pressure will build into the area for the holiday weekend and linger into early next week. We will be monitoring an area of low pressure or a weak area of a trough, if you will, just off the Georgia and Florida coast. That will likely stay south of us, but may result in some increased shower and thunderstorm activity, perhaps middle or end of next week. But by and large, this weekend, early next week should be quiet once we get through a very active period beginning today and especially on Friday. So looking at that in more detail, we have examples here of what the radar may look like. And these are forecast radar images beginning on Friday morning and then continuing into the evening. And again, this is just one numerical model, one simulation of what it may look like. It is of high confidence that the radar will not look exactly like this, but it gives us an idea. And so what we expect on Friday morning will be a band of showers, perhaps some thunderstorms across the western Piedmont, as shown in the figure in the upper left. Not a lot of severe weather with that at that time of day, but there will be some heavier rain. So potential for the morning rush to be a little bit messy out in the Triad and the Charlotte areas. That band will push east. It may weaken a bit as it reaches Raleigh and then the coastal plain toward midday. And then in the upper right, as we get closer to 3 p.m. mid-afternoon, we expect additional showers and thunderstorms to fire on the backside of that boundary or that system. And these will be the stronger and potentially more severe thunderstorms that are threatening for Friday afternoon and evening. Those showers and thunderstorms are likely to grow into a larger line, it would appear, at least a broken line that extends from Virginia down into South Carolina as it moves across the Piedmont in the early and mid-afternoon, and then reaches a coastal plain by Friday evening and begins to weaken. There may be additional shower and thunderstorm activity that rotates through the area on Friday night associated with the actual cold front. But the bottom line is there'll be multiple kind of rounds of showers and storms really on Friday and Friday night, with the main feature or the biggest area of concern being this band that kind of moves, exits the Triad, and then intensifies as it exits the Triad in the early afternoon, moves across the Triangle, perhaps late afternoon and the rush hour time, and then reaches the coastal plain. With that weather in mind, we do have some severe weather outlook for our area. And we'll touch base about that in just a second. But let me talk about the precipitation forecast. For today, most of our area will be dry, although there will be some thunderstorms that develop in Georgia and upstate South Carolina that will move north and northeast into the western Piedmont and foothills in North Carolina. Some of those may actually be strong, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. So there will be a threat of some rain, mainly after dinner time and later out in the Triad and Yadkin Valley area. The rest of our region should be dry for today and this evening. And then tomorrow, Friday, more widespread showers and thunderstorms as we showed earlier, with a general average of a ½ inch to 1 inch of rain expected in many areas. But as always with thunderstorms, there are many locations that get a lot heavier amounts in very localized areas, and some areas that get much lesser amounts of precipitation. And then dry weather is expected to return for Saturday and Sunday and even into Monday, which is Memorial Day. So for the holiday weekend, the weather actually will feel warmer and should be dry. There is a little uncertainty again Tuesday and Wednesday next week about a system just off the southeast coast, as shown in the image here in the bottom center, with some showers perhaps threatening us maybe middle or end of next week. And the 7-day total shown in the lower right here highlights the rainfall really just for today and Friday, again with thunderstorms driving much of those precipitation amounts. Looking at the severe weather potential for today, shown in the upper left image here, that's actually for today and tonight. There is a marginal risk of thunderstorms just west of our area in the foothills and western Piedmont, west of the Triad and west of Charlotte, with a slight risk further west. So don't be surprised if you know friends or families or have interest out in the upstate South Carolina, Atlanta area, Asheville area. Will it be strong to severe thunderstorms in those locations? Those storms will be moving mostly north and north-northeast. So they'll be skirting the Triad as they move up into Virginia. So we feel that the real core of the severe weather risk is just outside of our area, but it will be close, and we'll have extra folks here tonight, this afternoon and evening, monitoring those storms. East of the Triad and east of the Charlotte area, very limited severe weather risk, if at all. So the main threat this evening will be Triad West and Charlotte West. Then tomorrow, is shown in the upper center image, we have a slight risk of severe weather across much of the area, although there's a little bit lesser threat in the Triad and in the Charlotte areas. And that's mainly because the storms really don't start firing and re-intensifying till midday when they're just pushing east of those locations. So the greatest severe weather risk is really across areas from Fayetteville and Wadesboro, north and east, through the eastern parts of the Triad, Raleigh, Durham area, and up into Elizabeth City and those locations. And we have all three hazards in play tomorrow, with the potential for primarily damaging winds, but also risk of hail and even a tornado or two. It looks like the greatest potential of organized severe weather might be from Raleigh north and east into southern Virginia, but really anywhere highlighted in this yellow area is at risk. And those storms could obviously impact the evening commute tomorrow, as highlighted with the radar simulations earlier. And then quiet weather is expected on Saturday. So jumping ahead real quick to the excessive rainfall outlook today, thunderstorms should stay generally west of our area, with the limited risk of heavy rain and flooding, mainly across the mountains and foothills, and again, just threatening the western portions of the Triad. Tomorrow, a much more widespread threat of flooding potentials. It's classified as slight risk of excessive rain and flash flooding. And again, mainly it's from Fayetteville in the Triad areas north and east. We'll be on lookout for that. Rivers are a little bit higher in some of these spots because we did have some decent rains the other day. So this is definitely a concern. And again, anytime we get heavy rain in urban areas, we do get localized flash flooding because of poor drainage and just the nature of those urban areas. And again, quieter weather is expected on Saturday. Looking ahead to the 8 to 14 day outlook as we head into the first full week of June, probability suggests temperatures are likely to be near or above normal across the Carolinas, and precipitation amounts, as shown in the lower right image, might be above normal to normal. So perhaps a warmer, more humid, and stormier kind of period perhaps during that time. It'll feel summer-like, which probably is appropriate for early June. Looking ahead at our next slide here, hitting the drought update. This outlook is largely unchanged from the previous week. There was some minor expansion and deterioration of drought conditions across the northern coastal plain, up in locations like Warren, Halifax, maybe Nash counties, and also down in the Cumberland, Bladen, Sampson counties, a slight expansion there. It does look like we will get some rain in those areas, but to be honest, the heaviest rain, most spread rain tonight and tomorrow will be west of these areas. So probably not a big change with this outlook as we head into the coming week or so. So largely status quo, and a concern certainly for our friends in the coastal plain in terms of drought conditions as we head into the heat of the summer. All right, hitting the highlights and the summary here real quick. Lots of clouds, but warmer today. Temperatures will rebound hopefully in the upper 70s and well into the 80s in many locations with a few breaks of sunshine. There'll be a few showers and storms that'll skirt the western Piedmont this afternoon and evening as they kind of lift north and northeast. One or two of those could be strong, so we'll be closely monitoring those, but the worst of the weather will be mainly Interstate 77 areas west. More numerous showers and thunderstorms will develop late tonight and spread into the western Piedmont toward tomorrow morning, impacting the commute. They may weaken as they head east before re-intensifying and perhaps redeveloping across the triangle areas and then moving north and northeast with a potential for strong to severe thunderstorms during the afternoon and early evening. High pressure then builds into the area late on Friday night, but especially on Saturday with fair and warmer conditions moving into the holiday weekend. Again, we'll be monitoring the severe weather threat just across our far west this evening and across much of our area on Friday afternoon and evening, and we've already looked at getting extra staffing in here to keep an eye on that for the coming 36 hours or so. That's all I have here for our weekly briefing. I'll pause and see if there are any questions in the chat. If not, please stay weather aware, especially tomorrow afternoon and evening. And we're here if you have any questions or concerns or need to reach out with us for any questions. So with that in mind, I'll pause and check the questions. Have a good day, and thanks for joining us.